Hey everyone, hope everybody's doing well today or tonight, wherever you are. And you know the intro, it's Otaku Tavern back at you with another video. And if you like the type of content that I create, make sure you like, subscribe, click the bell notification so that you do not miss a video. And today we're going to talk about, well tonight I should say, we're going to talk about how online gaming isn't the same anymore. This has been something I have noticed for quite some time. Probably, well, obviously 2020s. It's just not the same anymore. And what I mean by that is, you know, due to the fact of, like, you know, the way, like, depending on the game. So I'll probably kind of talk about a couple of games here, you know, to kind of make my point known. Like, I'm not going to cover, obviously, every game, but, like, the same still applies, though. But, like, you know, when it comes to online gaming, you know, online gaming is supposed to be something that, you know, you can kind of, like, talk to people, you know, play the game, kind of wind down, you know, just to chill, enjoy yourselves, you know, like, all that kind of stuff, right? And, you know, it's extremely hard to do that because, you know, when you're playing a game, especially if it's an online game, you know, so I guess the first game that I'll mention is, like, Dead by Daylight, right? I used to play that game, and, you know, it's obviously like an online-only thing, and it's like, you know, it's a disaster. Like, it's a complete disaster because, you know, like, to top it all off, like, if you have, like, certain, you know, like, certain gamer tags, certain names, they will come after you first. And, you know, this could have, like, it could be something that they just don't like, obviously, and they'll just try to come after you first, right? You know, I can't be the only one that's noticed this. I mean, I have talked to people who have noticed this, but, like, honestly, this isn't even really the biggest problem, but, like, you know, it's still an issue because it just makes zero sense. Just because they don't like whatever it is, you know, your gamer tag is, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go after you first, like, you know, I don't get it, but, like, anyway, I kind of want to focus on more, though, about, like, you know, the fact that, you know, say when you're in one of these Dead by Daylight online matches, you know, now, I will say, you possibly might get a bit lucky, you know, if it's like, you know, you come across, like, I guess, the rare people, I guess, but, like, when it comes to that game, like, especially, like, you know, you're on your own. Like, you are on your own. And I'm not talking about, like, getting people off the hook. So, you know, most people will get you off the hook just because, you know, so, like, you can be a distraction for them to get more stuff done, right? Like, you know, it's all about, like, all they're caring about is them escaping. They're not, like, really trying to help you escape, so to say. And, you know, I've noticed this because it's like, you know, you try to help them out, and it's like, you know, like, say you'll even try to heal somebody. A lot of times they will sit there and walk away. Like, they won't let you, they won't let you heal them. There's a lot of people that won't. Now, a lot of people will so they can escape, but, like, that's the bare minimum that they let you do, like, right? Like, You know, that or they might get you off the hook to serve as like another distraction, and then they go throughout the whole game doing this. You know, but like, you know, online gaming back in the day was like, you know, you remember like, you know, back in like a bunch of old matches where of other games, like, you know, people, what they would do is they would, you know, help you kind of get victory. Like, you know, and it's like, that's very less likely today because it's pretty much every man for themselves because, you know, yeah, you also got to hold your own, you know, that's a given. But, like, you know, you're on a team, so help would be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, help would be extremely nice in this instance because, like, you know, if I'm going to play that, you know, I'll expect someone to be like, hey, you know, you need some help, you know, I'll help you. And it's like, you know, like, if you're lucky, you will get in a match, like, to where, like, all four, like, people are working together, right? Like, it's you, and then you got these other three people, and they're actually working to help you, right? You know, if you're lucky. But, like, the thing is, that's not going to happen much. And because of this, you lose a lot of the matches. And to top it all off, like, you got people who are literally working with, like, the other team. They're literally betraying their own team just to work with another team just because they are I guess a terrible person. Like, you know, they like betraying people, obviously. That's a given. But, you know, and then I've even seen, like I've seen teams where, like, that are so bad, like, on Dead by Daylight, because I was playing the game when the game came out, right? And I quit, like, last year playing it because it just, I don't know, it's repetitive, it's crap, and, like, I don't know, I just don't agree with a lot of the people who run it on their stance on some things, but, like, it's just, I don't know, like, it doesn't really make any sense, you know, that this could be like a really good, fun, you know, game, but it's like, you know, I've noticed the funness of it has really died, like, to be honest, like, it's just repetitive now, and, you know, back when it was first going, like, that game was, like, it was fun, like, you know, it was, man, that game was fun, and, you know, like, a lot of the time, like, there's been teams that are so bad, like, the person who's playing as a killer will literally let the whole team escape because the team is bad, like, and it's like, you know, they may come after you because you're actually trying, and then since the other ones just act like they don't know what to do, or they're just not trying, or just goofing off, they let them escape, and it's like, you know, you may sit there and say, oh, hey, it's a game that's not that serious. And it's like, you know, okay, quit playing it. Like, because, you know, if that's your opinion, why are you even on it? I mean, sure, you're probably on it after a day of work or, you know, maybe to relax. But, like, you're on there to win. You're not on there to goof off and act like a clown, right? So, you know, and that's the thing, a lot of other people are trying to find these matches like this, and they keep getting, like, set up with, like, people that just don't do crap. You know, and that's, like, one reason why I quit it, but, like, you know, this isn't the only game. Like, online gaming as a whole has a whole problem with this. You know, like, another one is, like, if you beat somebody, like, a lot of times these people will get mad and try to send you, like, hateful DMs. You know, just all kinds of really toxic stuff, like, and it's like, you know, who the heck wants to deal with that? Like, nobody, like, but, you know, I will say, like, I think some games have it worse than others. Like, I think they do because, you know, there's also a game I play. I think it's better than Dead by Daylight, obviously. You know, I just don't really care for a lot of things in the game. But, like, it was from old 80s, kind of like horror comedy movie called Killer Clowns from Outer Space, right? And I really liked the movie, and I had bought the game when it came out, and the game is great. You know, the game is great, but the problem is this game has that flaw too. You know, finding people who will actually help you is crazy because it's like, you know, and the thing is like, you know, you can even try to like play, and then it's like they will somehow try to get you like killed in the game. And you know, to top it all off, the whole camping issue too has gotten much worse. Now that right there has gotten a lot worse on a lot of games. You know, I think Dead by Daylight is definitely like a game that like people just sit there and just camp all day, bro. Like a lot of them do, you know. I mean, sure, you'll find your matches that don't, but like, you know, it's not. You know, the juice just isn't worth the squeeze. Like, you know, when you're dealing with this, because unless you just want to kind of do what I do and just ignore it, like just play by yourself and just work for yourself, because you know that's all you can really do. I mean, that's kind of what I do on like the Killer Clowns. I mean, now if someone's helping me, sure, I'll help them. You know, I'll if I can help them get out of escape, I'll do it. But, you know, like, that's the thing, bro. Like, these people, they don't want to help anybody. It's like, you know, people not only have grown cold, but they can't even help you on a game, let alone in, you know, out in public or in real life or whatever. Like, you know, and it's like, it's pretty brutal, like. But I mean, you know, it can't be helped because it's not going to change, obviously. But, you know, it's like another thing too is like, you know, a lot of trolling going on too. Like, you know, everybody wants to sit and troll when it comes to the internet, right? Like, you know, on a game, and, you know, and it's like all the time. Like, I'm not talking about sometimes, bro. Like, I'm talking like all the time, you know, and it's like, you know, this is very annoying. Like, this is very annoying. You know, I remember like back in PS3 days on GTA 5, like there was a hack that these people used, like before like passive mode came out, to stop people from killing you online. Like what they would do is they would kill you, use this hack, and then they would teleport to wherever it was you spawned and kill you again, and they would just keep doing this over and over and over. Like, you know, and it's like they would do this to everybody, like in the whole lobby, and, you know, the game isn't even fun at this point because, you know, it's like, it's not even worth playing at that point because you're sitting here trying to, like, you know, do your part and do your thing. But, like, no, it's not going to happen because, you know, you got people doing stuff like that. And it's like, you know, they obviously just can't play fair, you know, but still, you know, it's annoying. It's crazy because why continue to just play something like this? Like, why? Like, but, like, you know, I don't play that either, you know. But like I'm just saying, you know, I've had it happen. I've seen it, you know, and but yeah. Anyway, you know, another thing too about it is like, when do you ever see like people taking one for the team? And what I mean by that is like, you remember like back then, you know, like they would sit there and be like taking one for the team, right? They would be like, oh hey, you know, I'll kind of distract them. I'll take one for the team, right? And it's like, you know, nah, not anymore, bro. You're on your own, man. And it's like, you know, I don't know, man. It's just annoying. But, dang. Sorry, I just freaking zoned out there. But yeah, like, you know, this isn't going to get any better. Like, I really wish I could say that it would, and, you know, but the thing is it's not going to. That's the thing. And, you know, it's going to get much worse. And it's like, you know, there's constant, like, I don't know, it's very aggravating, like, I mean, you know, because you're sitting there, like, trying to play a game, and it's like, you know, they won't let you do it, right? But okay, let's try this. I totally missed him. I'll switch up. But, yeah, you know, I wish it was the same as it used to be, but, like, you know, no, you can't even do that anymore. Like, you know, because it's like, you know, and I'll tell you another thing, too, like, when you try to help people, like, there will literally be people, like, that'll try to do emotes and whatnot, that'll be like, no, stop, you know, don't help. Like, you know, it's... You know, it's like, you know, what the hell do you want me to do, bro? Like, that's kind of what the dang game is meant to do, is... I don't know, man. Like, I think it's just... Online gaming has gotten to a point to where it's like, it's just no longer fun. Like, you know, like when I play games that are, like, online only, I just find myself just not doing, like, anything for anybody on there, because... It's not like they're going to help me or anything, and why would I help them? You know, so it's just like, nah, I'm not gonna do it, bro. Like, but you know, also, like, you know, when you're on a game and, you know, like you're playing, you know, with your friends or whatever, like if you have friends, you know, like, that's kind of really fun, you know. I will say that's fun. At least they help out and do what they're supposed to do, but, like, you know, there's a lot of people that don't have friends, and the fact that you can't do things anymore, like, you know, a lot of gaming communities have lost their kind of edge, like, you know, and what I mean by that is, like, you know, like, say, like, PlayStation, you know, the PlayStation communities is no longer a thing, you know, and, you know, Xbox has had some of its things removed, and, you know, it's like, it's just very unfortunate, because it's like, you know, you can't hardly meet anybody, man. And it's like, you know, and when you add somebody, or you know, like, you know, try to, like, get to know them or whatever, you know, ask if they want to hit up on the game or something, it's like, you know, like, you know, do I know you? Like, what do you want? Or, you know, like, they're very uninterested. Like, people are very uninterested anymore, and it's like, it really defeats the whole purpose of online gaming, to be honest, as a whole, because... um, you know, it's kind of about like working together and competing, and you know, no, not anymore though. You know, not anymore because it's like, you know, it's not really necessarily like a tag team. You know, it's like, I don't know, you know, it's just, it's changed, man. Like, I don't know, I just remember when, all this stuff was like really more, you know, the juice was more worth the squeeze when it comes to online because, you know, like you could have like a lot of fun. It's like, you know, sure, some people may have a lot of fun, but it's like, you know, like I say, nobody's hardly helping anybody anymore, and you know, people get toxic. They want to send you toxic DMs. They, you know, all this stuff, and it's like, you know, it totally defeats the purpose of online gaming. And you know, I'm just sitting here like trying to just, you know, chill and game and whatnot, you know, maybe team up or something, and it's like, no, you try to do that and people's like, you know, they think you're some sort of bot. Or if you play online games, you know, my greatest advice, if you're struggling with this, when you play something online, say like Dragon Ball Breakers, just stick to yourself, bro. Literally, just stick to yourself. You know, if no one's going to help you, then just forget it. Like, you know, even on like, you know, certain games like online, they'll like try to do like these emotes or whatever to try to get you to give you, like for you to give them what items or something you've got. And it's like, you know, they'll take and use it for their own. They use it for themselves. Like, they're not using it for the whole team. They're using it just for themselves because they're the only ones that are trying to escape. They're not trying to help the others escape that are trying to escape, you know, or they're not trying to help the others win the fight or the battle. It's just, it's a disaster, bro. Like, it's complete craziness because that's what online gaming is for, you know, to team up, you know, all this stuff, you know, and when you team up, you know, that's how you build bonds and stuff like that, you know, at least back in the day. And it's just, you know, not anymore. So, hey, how's it going? But yeah, you know, it's just, I don't know, online gaming to me is just lame anymore. I don't, now, I mean, I would play with friends, obviously, but like, other than that, no, I'm not playing. Like, to help people, you know, like on, like the game I mentioned earlier, like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I literally got the key, the gas, the fuse, fixed up the boat, all by myself, and I just left. I didn't wait for nobody. I didn't, because, you know, they were off doing their own thing, you know, and they don't want help. And it's like, you know, they don't want to help you. And it's like, you know, okay, cool, like, bye. You know, that's just kind of the way I see it. And all that stuff. So yeah. One more thing I kind of want to touch base on is like the fact that it's not the same is, you know, like with the whole thing with like live service games, you know, a lot of them not only die, but like because you know people just don't help people on them. Like they don't really work together as a team. You know, they don't. It's totally not what the game is made for. Like it's just I don't know, bro. It's a disaster. Like, but like you know, can't really change it. So yeah, there's that. But I'm pretty sure y'all have noticed this stuff too. And I've talked to people who've noticed this, and this is why they don't play online. And another thing too, I will say this, like tryhards, that's another thing. Like, now what I mean by that is like someone who will literally do like anything to win. They can't take a loss. Like, you know, and it's like, you know, that you kind of learn from losing, honestly, so I don't know, bro. Like, it's just a disaster anymore. I don't know. I guess this video's stupid. I don't know. I was just kind of ranting, I guess, a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. Like and subscribe, I guess. Yeah, see ya.